Welcome to Guide to Survive. The world is a big, beautiful place, full of incredible and breathtaking sights and experiences. It's also doing everything it can to kill you, and so that's where this program fits in. Before you venture into the great outdoors, you need to learn about all of the terrifying and mystical creatures that lurk in the woods, knock on your window, and hide in your toilet. With this guide, you'll learn how to identify a would-be assailant, analyze its strengths and weaknesses, and deal with it effectively. By the end of your training, you'll be ready to take on any creep or cryptid that crosses your path. So here's to you, and the great adventure that lies ahead. Let's begin.
Target analysis. Name: Pollo Maligno, evil chicken. Class: Cryptid, malevolent forest spirit. Habitat: forest and countryside, Colombia. Lifespan: not applicable. Strengths: flight, gigantic size, limited mind control, shape-shifting, and voice projection. Weaknesses: divine intervention. Overall threat level: 7. Behavior: El Pollo Maligno, the evil chicken. Quite the title, if you can back it up. And this legendary creature of the Colombian wilderness most certainly fits the bill. Lurking within the vast Colombian wilderness, this great, deceptive, and hungering predator lures hunters and wanderers far from civilization. There it stalks them, hunts them, plays with their minds until they finally break. Then it will feed on the struggling, barely sane forms of the once hopeful human beings unfortunate enough to follow its devilish call. Also, it's a chicken. A few interesting quirks regarding this malevolent spirit is that it can fly, which is unheard of for chickens, and it has nothing but disdain for drinking alcohol, playing cards or gambling, and even telling jokes. Talk about a lousy wingman. It is said that El Pollo Maligno will be heard at night, its call ringing out through the trees. The sound is alleged to resemble a mix of birdsong or even a young chick and the whistling sound humans make. It is encouraged that any who hear this should turn around immediately and proceed back the way they came. Additionally, this creature's call is deceptive, as the louder it sounds, the closer it is, and conversely. It has been said that the bird is not entirely malevolent. For example, if an individual is traveling alone at night, they might not hear El Pollo Maligno's misleading call, but instead, footsteps following up behind them. Upon observing their unexpected companion, they will see only another human being. That is until it begins to chirp. Upon the realization that it is indeed the evil chicken itself following, two things are said to happen. If an individual attempts to flee, then El Pollo Maligno will retake its chicken form, catch its target, and peck at their feet. Now, I'm no doctor, nor physicist, but I would be confident in the assertion that a cinder block-sized beak crashing repeatedly down on your tootsies would make for some very flat feet indeed. Alternatively, if one chooses to stand their ground, then El Pollo Maligno's human form will turn into vines. They will then wrap around the person and leave them tangled up and lying in the dirt. Although in most instances, the evil chicken has devoured its victims. Perhaps sometimes it's just not hungry. Curiously, El Pollo Maligno is more cautious around multiple targets. An encounter will proceed with the giant bird constantly chirping out aloud at its targets. It is believed that this is an attempt to derange their minds and split them up, so that it may hunt and consume them without interruption or resistance. In all instances, a certain way of ridding yourself of El Pollo Maligno is to pray to Saint Miguel 9 times. Now, some of you might be wondering,
just what does a giant forest chicken in Colombia have to do with Saint Michael?
Truth be told, we don't really know. But I suppose when you look this glorious, you can have all the chickens you want. Or something. So there you have it. El Pollo Maligno, the evil chicken. Colombia's great malevolent fowl, scourge of hunters and travelers alike. But what do you think? Is it truly evil, or just kind of a bastard? Those who wander the Colombian wilderness may just get their chance to find out. Stratagem. So, here's the scenario. You're in Colombia, picking up a package for me from a friend, and that's all you need to know about it. It's night, and you're walking through some woodlands when you hear a faint chirping sound. Fearing some poor, defenseless, dumb chicken has wandered into the wilderness, you go towards it. Regret comes swiftly, as soon, towering over you, is El Pollo Maligno. Your plan of attack. Firstly, bless you. Now's the time to pray. Remember, it's 9 times to Saint Miguel, or Michael, depending on where you're from. Secondly, freeze frame. Not the praying type, eh? Fair enough. This may be a long shot, but try holding still. It may just wrap you up, peck at your feet, and then leave. Thirdly, chicken run. Make a break for it. Dodge and weave between the trees often to confuse El Pollo Maligno. Fourthly, stay low. Remember, El Pollo Maligno can fly, so keep low and use the cover of nature to escape. Fifthly, fantastic work, you chicken. Pop quiz. Question number 1. Can El Pollo Maligno shapeshift into other animals? Question number 2. Will El Pollo Maligno flee if there is more than one person? Question number 3. Is it true that El Pollo Maligno can only be found at night? Question number 4. Is El Pollo Maligno restricted to the countryside? Question number 5. Does El Pollo Maligno devour all of its victims? Answers. Question number 1. Can El Pollo Maligno shapeshift into other animals? Answer, no. El Pollo Maligno can only shapeshift into a human being or vines. Question number 2. Will El Pollo Maligno flee if there is more than one person? Answer, no. El Pollo Maligno will attack multiple targets. Question number 3. Is it true that El Pollo Maligno can only be found at night? Answer, yes. El Pollo Maligno is nocturnal. Question number 4. Is El Pollo Maligno restricted to the countryside? Answer, yes. El Pollo Maligno is a forest spirit and will not dwell within civilization. Question number 5. Does El Pollo Maligno devour all of its victims? Answer, no. Sometimes El Pollo Maligno will peck at their feet or just tie them up. If you scored 0 to 1, then you've met a foul end. If you scored 2 to 3, then you might be alive, but you'll never eat fried chicken again. And just when I was going to share my secret lab recipe with you. And if you scored 4 to 5, incredible work. You're clucking marvelous. Conclusion. Excellent work. I'd say you're ready to get out there and face whatever challenges plot against you. And if you're not, then don't worry. You can rewatch these survival guides as much as you like. And they're non-refundable. I'm very proud of the progress you've made, and I know you're going to take the future in your stride. I've got a good feeling about you, Foghorn Leghorn. Good luck, and don't die!